this person with the United States Space Force demands that you acknowledge him as a her. This officer, a lieutenant colonel in the Space Force, demands that you throw away all objective logic and treat him as a woman because he's grown his hair out long, changed his name, and wears a skirt. But even more so, if you watch this clip here from this appearance, he demands that this farce, this charade, this theatrical performance be embraced at all levels of corporate America and our government because it will make us better.
So inclusion is a national security imperative.
Is it? Is inclusion a national security imperative? When the Marine Corps was founded back in the 18th century, they just celebrated their birthday, by the way. Do you think that when the Marine Corps was founded, they said to themselves, guys, we're here for inclusion purposes. We can't protect America unless we're inclusive. When George Washington led the Continental Army in the Revolutionary War against the British military, the single greatest fighting force on the planet at that time, do you think he won because of inclusion? Is it really a national security imperative? When you see the attacks of October 7th in Israel and recognize that that terrorist attack could happen here tomorrow, do you think to yourself, my God, I hope the people protecting us are focusing on inclusion? This is an officer in the United States military telling us that inclusion is a national security. And he's going to explain, she's going to explain why.
We fight today and we are going to fight in the future using brain power. And if that brain, who's going to revolutionize the way we fight in space, we fight in cyber, just happens to be in a trans body, you should want them all serving alongside me. And for your organizations, it's the same way. Those perspectives that we get from a diverse set of individuals, it's been talked about on stage a lot regarding the science behind high-performing teams. We need those perspectives. But it's inclusion that actually drives that. Because you can bring people in, and if they don't feel safe to speak up, if they don't feel safe to bring their full selves to work, you're not going to get the value of the diversity. So for us, it is absolutely critical to drive our future success as an organization and potentially on the battlefield. And I think it's the same way for all of you, because we can't leave that talent that is going to revolutionize the way we do business behind.
It's funny that this person just used the term on the battlefield. You know, we're going to fight our wars with brain power. Brain power, really. You remember when Joe Biden was orchestrating the disastrous pullout from Afghanistan and people were hanging from airplanes at the airport, and we had to send another couple of thousand troops back in there to secure the area and help for the disastrous pullout so that he could get better images on cable news. And there was a terrorist attack. Remember, 13 members of the military died in a suicide bomb there at Hamid Karzai Airport. You remember this, right? Because of Joe Biden, because of the Pentagon, because of the disastrous plans that they had for the pullout. Those 13 Americans died that day from a terror attack. And I've got to ask this person, why did they have to be there? Why did we send those 13 service members there? Why did they die on the battlefield when we could have just solved everything with brain power? If we're going to fight all of our wars and win all of our wars with brain power, we got to think that the brains like this person are in charge, right? I mean, think about all of the young men, mostly men, who died in Afghanistan and Iraq over the last 20 years. Why did they have to go? I thought we were fighting with brain power. They just said, this person, this individual posing as a woman, just said that eventually we need to win on a battlefield. What do you mean battlefield? No more boots on the ground. No more soldiers, no more Marines, no more fighting, no more tanks. We're just going to win with brain power. So it doesn't matter, right? I don't see this dude putting on combat boots and grabbing a gun to go kill our enemies. Wearing a skirt and getting invited to really high-profile panels to talk about how important inclusivity is. and they're expecting you to send your son to go and fight. You wonder why our military is behind in their recruitment numbers? You wonder why we're failing to hit any of our marks with regard to staffing needs in our military? This is why. This is why. And that person, this is who gets celebrated by the military today. A dude who just a couple of years ago identified as a dude, and now because of long hair and a skirt is suddenly a woman, and they're the one, this lieutenant colonel, right? What's that, a 05? Lieutenant Captain May. Yeah, an 05, I got it right. This 05 is now celebrated and put on a pedestal, not because of achievements, not because of brain power, pardon me, because he's decided to wear a skirt. And I assure you, a new commander-in-chief with a new Secretary of Defense will not make this the priority for your military. This is happening because of politics. And it's good to know. It's good to know that the next time your child is called up for duty and asked to go fight in a war, that you can just step back and say, oh, no, sorry, we're not needed. I've been told we're fighting all of our wars with just brain power. So go ahead and get Dylan Mulvaney to fight the next war for us. That's where we are.